Salutations, my name is Summer, and this is Sterling Reads. This is not Sterling. This is Roger, who is hooked to me. And this is Prim. I have Rolo behind me. I think it's Mayfair in the litter box. Everybody is around, and I have a lot of things I want to go over today, but I'm going to go over them quickly. There's some things that I finished so far. There is a DNF also. One of the things that I finished that I really enjoyed, and I enjoyed it so much that I bought the next books in the series. I think the next 2 books. No, that does not need to happen. Anyway, I read The Burning Chambers by Kate Moss. This is the first book in a series. Like I said, I have the second and third book up there. I can't really see what their titles are, and I'll let you know when I go to read them. But anyway, this is set in France in the, I want to say 1560s. And we're introduced to 2 characters, like a young man and a young woman. Like his name is like Pete, and her name is a French name that I know I would misspell it. Anyway, you know there's going to be like a love story, but like in between each chapter, there is like just a couple pages of a woman telling her story, and it is so intriguing. It's very dark, and you don't know who this woman is at first, but every time you hear a little like snippet of her voice, it's like, I don't know, it just keeps you, you know, like she's trying to balance on my knee. I'm not for sure why. But anyway, it keeps you like, oh my gosh, who is this crazy lady? Anyway, it's very good. It reminds me of Ken Follett's writing almost, because it's historical fiction. And we have the whole thing with the religions also. You know, it's 1562, I think, is when it starts out. So anyway, and I don't know much about French history. Besides like Hugo, I don't read very much French, but that is changing. So I finished that. I DNF'd March by Geraldine Brooks. So I love the idea of this book. It's called March because of the March family from Alcott's book Little Women. It's about their father and where he was, because you know he's absent he's like off at war during the book Little Women. So this is his story. Love the idea about it. I did not like the writing, and to be honest, I did not get very far. There is like a war scene, and it's in the very beginning, and somebody ends up in the water, and somebody's trying to save somebody, and to me that would be frantic survival, and the writing was very like slow and flowery, and I was just like, no, can't do it. So I DNF'd this, unfortunately. Another book that I finished that I absolutely loved. So this is the second book in the series. The first book is like The Caves of Steel, I think, which is about this police officer detective who, the first book is he is partnered with a robot. So in this book, him and this robot, he has to go to this other planet because there's been a murder. And they all think that the wife did it, of course. So anyway, he has to go to this other planet. And it's so interesting because they talk about viewing and seeing. So on this other planet, there's so few people. It's mostly run by robots. So I don't know, maybe there's like 20,000 people on this planet, and that's it. It's very, very limited. So people don't see each other. And then they have this whole like breeding thing. So it's not like you meet somebody and then you like have a family. Everything is set up for you know, like you don't touch anybody, you don't necessarily see them unless you're, I want to say programmed. You're set up to be with this person. So like a husband and wife could clearly not like each other from the very beginning, really. But if you're picked to be with this person, that's who you're with. And then if you're scheduled to have children, then you have children. And then the children are taken out of the woman, and then they're like raised in, I don't know. I don't know if they called it like a garden or what they called it, but it was all very interesting. And the robots were the nurturers. So the children being raised, the robots are the ones that are, you know, caring for these children. The parents don't have anything to do with them. Anyway, so yeah, it's all, oh, anyway, the viewing and the seeing. It reminded me of, you know, once COVID happened and everybody was like Zoom, which I hate Zoom calls. Like for work, I would just go into work. I just hate, I don't know, I'm uncomfortable. And that was the difference between viewing and seeing. So if you were seeing is like me and Prem, we are seeing each other, and viewing is like Zoom. And so everybody's only comfortable viewing, and it's very good. Very good. So, and it's like a mystery. You find out who the murderer is and everything. What else? I'm sorry, I have all this a mess. So I was talking about, yeah, those are the only things that I finished. So I was talking about French novels. I've been really wanting to read, I'm going to mispronounce it, I know, that Germinal by Zola and The Paradise. I watched The Paradise years ago and really enjoyed it. I only watched the first season. I didn't watch the second season because I thought, oh, I'll read it. Well, I own that book and I own that Germinal, or however you pronounce it. And I thought, okay, I'm going to read the Paradise. And then I saw it was a series, and I thought, okay, let me like start at the beginning. If it's a series, I want to start at the beginning. It is a 20-book series. So what I did, and I know everybody's like hating on Kindle right now, but I don't download my books anyway. Most of them have been gifted. My Kindle actually was a gift that I was very thankful. I am very thankful for, and all the books that I'm gifted. But I did go on Kindle, Amazon, and I ordered the complete 20 series for $1.99 and you know what? I do not know how to pronounce it. I'll put it in the description down below, the title of the series. But yeah, it's a 20-book series, and it has those two in it. And I can't remember. I started the very first book, and it's starting out very good. I'm enjoying the writing. There's only two characters, a young boy who's getting ready to go off to war, I believe, and a young female, like she's 13. And just as descriptions of these two characters, and the way that they feel about each other and being young, and even atmosphere, very good writing. I mean, the translation, I don't know who translated it, but it's very good. So I've started that 20-book series, and like I said, I'll put it in the description down below. It's by Zola. I'm gonna mispronounce his first name. It's like Emile, maybe. Yeah, very good. Very excited about that. Two other books that I am in the process, and one I picked it back up and I'm really enjoying it again because I was loving it while I was reading it. It's very dramatic. That's The Coldest Winter Ever by Sister Souljah. It is on the Great American Reads list. That's why I started to read it. But where I used to work at, the boys would always tell me, like, oh, you got to read this book. Man, it's good. It has so many good lessons in it. Right now, so the main character's name is Winter, and right now, she's done so many stupid things, and it's partly like how she's been raised to be. She's very shallow, but she is reaching the very bottom of the barrel when it comes to cutting off ties, using people, just being she's very young. I want to say she's 16. But yeah, and so she was supposed to be going to this AIDS event, and she sleeps with guys left and right, like, you know, it's usually guys that she's wanting to, you know, get something from or use them in some way. But, you know, she also enjoys having sex, which a lot of us females do. So you have that also. But, so she's not being, you know, this is not against her will. She is going out and doing this. But I'm kind of curious, since they keep throwing AIDS in there and they keep throwing, like, hey, you need to be careful. Because also, like, she could get pregnant. I don't know what she's thinking. And she just slept with a guy. Well, she thought she was sleeping with a guy. She wasn't. She was sleeping with some other guy. She just found that out. Which, yeah, you don't go into a dark room with some guy you don't really know because he's a star. I was like, you're dumb. But she's 16 years old and looking to, you know, come up in the world. And that's my Roger sneezing. But this is very entertaining. It's fast-paced. It's, you know, I can be frustrated with our main character, Winter. But like I said, she's young. This is how she was raised. And she is going to learn. And I love Sister Souljah's character in here. She's always trying to, like, help people. And so I'm excited because I think I have the second book. I do have another book by her. Hopefully it's a second one. A book that I've been kind of bored with, unfortunately, and that's The Trap by Tabitha King. I mean, I'm halfway through it, but I pick it up, I just read a little bit, and it's just like, where is this going? And the story doesn't even have to go any place for me, but I don't know. I'm just bored right now with it, so hopefully I can get this finished soon. So March. Okay, we have March of the Mammoths, which I absolutely love. It is my favorite thing on BookTube every year. Jason at Old Blues Chapters and Verse, he is the one who created it. He has a new video out about it. I will link his channel down below. But the book I'm going to read is a pretty easy book. I started it a while back and I don't remember. So I'm going to have to restart it because I had only got to page 42. But I'm going to restart it because I don't really remember it. Here's Sterling. And he's beside Prim. So Prim was starting to smack him. Anyway, it's The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. I've been wanting to read this for years. And I have the second one on my Kindle. So I think I have this actually on my Kindle too. But I'm wanting to finally get to this. And you know these big fantasy books, it has a nice size print. And even though it's, hold on, because this is this isn't even it. 804 pages. So a Mammoth has to be 800 plus pages. So this fits perfectly. And I think it's going to be a fast, fun, easy read once I get into it. So something else that I joined, and I don't even know what it's called. It's a new book club. Sean D. Standfast had, actually him and Pat, I don't know if Mark at Richardson Reads put something up. Anyway, it's a new book club. It's sci-fi. It's reading newer science fiction, which is whatever. Because they're used to reading, like, I don't want to say ancient, like vintage. Anyway, it's called The New Futurian. I'm not sure how they pronounce that, Fellowship. And like I said, I will link Sean D. Standfast, Mark over at Richardson Reads, Pat at, I think, Book Chat with Pat, Brandy at the Book Eclectic, Scott Danielson. Is that? Oh, and Deb. Deb at Rayner Reads, maybe? Anyway, I will link everybody down below. I'm sure they have videos out about it. Anyway, so for, I have the books for March and April. March is going to be The Engines of God by Jack McDevitt. I'm not for sure how I pronounce his last name. But anyway, I have no idea what this is about. It's science fiction. we will see, but I'm excited about it. And the second book is going to be Children of Time by Adrian. I will not be able to pronounce his name. May's going to jump up here and hopefully she doesn't knock this off. No? Okay. We're good. Maybe. She's like jumping to the very top. Sorry, it's a tree. Cat tree. Okay, hopefully. Oh. Hey. Do not come back down. Listen, guys, I'm almost done. Guys. So anyway, the second book is for April is Children of Time. I own it. It's on my bookshelf. Those are things that I plan to read for March, and I'm hoping to finish up. So, yeah, I think that's it. I'm sure there's a lot more that I have to talk about. I'm very excited about Zola, the 20 books that I got, that series. Anyway, Sterling's getting ready to hop up here. It's a time. Anyway, please let me know what you're reading. Are you reading any Mammoths? Are you guys interested in the science fiction book club that they just started? I have no idea what they're doing right now. Anyway, yeah, let me know what you're reading and how you're doing. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.